Hey guys, it's Shiv, and I've been meaning to talk about this for a while. It's hard to talk about things like these. So if I kind of get off track in this video, sorry about that. But yeah, I just want to talk about it. I want to get this off my chest. I want to tell my side of the story. So today we're going to talk about the human rights violation that is Fate, the Winx Saga. Sorry if that intro scared you guys a little bit, but you know, I'm an actor, so I had to do it to you. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about Fate, the Winx Saga, which is a national tragedy, atrocity. It is worse than the pandemic. Basically, Fate the Winx Saga, if you guys aren't familiar with it, it is a live-action adaptation of Winx Club, which was a really popular show when I was a kid, so like Gen Z, some of like the younger millennials have seen it. It was just this amazing show about fairies, witches, magic. It was sparkly, the costumes, and the storylines weren't like super childish either. Like it was super like enticing and interesting, and I was really excited. I mean, I had like no clue that it was coming out before like I saw it on Netflix, but when I saw it on Netflix, I was like, oh my god, I need to watch this. Like I even had to like hold myself back a couple days because I was like, no, I need to get in the right headspace to digest this. So I like gave myself a little bit of a break, and then I watched it, and when I did watch it, I was disappointed. So before we talk about that, make sure to big like, go to subscribe, and let's get on to the video. Okay, y'all, just a tiny little editor's note. This video is getting super long, and I thought, you know what, it's probably best to make it two different parts. So this first part is just going to be about like all the little complaints, a little bit of background, and all that little cute stuff. And then there's going to be a second part about the finale, because I thought the finale needed to be its own part in the video, but it needs to be its own video. Because a national atrocity. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, let's get on to the video. Okay guys, I am hopefully going to put timestamps in the description, so if there are certain parts that you just don't want to like listen to, like I'm going to talk about the background right now, which may be a little bit boring for some of you, you guys can skip to those different time codes. Okay guys, let's start by talking about the background. This may be a little bit boring. It's going to be about like the producers who ran the show and kind of like the behind the scenes stuff, so if you're not interested in that, like I said, you can go skip ahead. But if you are interested, listen up. So if you did not know, the original animated Winx Club series was created by someone named ICONIC Mr. Straffi. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. You are a legend for creating the show. Though Fate is kind of like, you're still a legend for making Winx Club iconic, our childhood. To like run the whole Fate the Winx Saga, they got someone named Brian Young, who was I think a writer or in some way like part of the Vampire Diaries team. So already I'm like Winx Club, which is about like magic and kind of more of like the fighting side, and then Vampire Diaries, which yeah, it's kind of like vampires are kind of like supernatural or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that show was like definitely a lot more like soap drama-y, so kind of clashing. But the reason that they did this, which I found out after doing some Wikipedia research, is that Netflix wanted to turn the live adaptation to be more teen-oriented, to get more teen viewers. So they wanted to ruin it. They wanted to ruin it like they do with every other revival adaptation that they do. Winx Club was already great. It was amazing as it is. We just wanted to see it done live action. We didn't want any of this extra Riverdale type stuff, which if you've seen the show, very Riverdale. Certain scenes are very Riverdale, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, now let's talk about all the problems that I have with the show. So starting off with the characters. So Fate the Winx Saga took the original Winx Club characters, and if it was a piece of paper, they kind of just ripped it up, mixed them up, threw some away, brought some new ones in. For what reason? Who knows? First of all, they got rid of a bunch of characters, like a bunch of the specialist boyfriends, the witches. The whole concept of like witches just doesn't exist anymore. I mean, we do have Beatrix, who is still like evil, but like the way the show is like kind of positioning it, she's just like a fairy that's evil. She's not like a witch, and witches aren't like a whole different thing. I guess that was like social injustice or something. We'll give it a... But one of the main characters that they got rid of is Techna. Literally one of the main characters. They just wiped her off the face of the planet. She's gone, she's lost, she's missing, she just never existed. What did she do to you, Brian Young? Why did we get rid of her? I mean, I guess I can see it being like, okay, 6 main characters, it's kind of like hard for the mind to keep up with. But we were like 8 years old when we watched Winx Club, and there was like 20 billion more characters on that show. And we still kept track of them, so it kind of doesn't make any sense. Aside from just getting rid of a bunch of characters, they also like changed up a lot of things about the characters. So the first thing I want to talk about is like the racism controversy. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but in the original show, we have 3 people of color in the main cast, which is Musa was East Asian, Aisha is black, and she's still black in the show. And then we had Flora, who was a Latina nature fairy. So Musa is still in the show, but now she's white. And then for Flora, who was Latina, they changed her to white, and then they changed her name to Tara. For what reason? We don't, like, I don't know. Why did you do that? I mean, if you think about it, it's like pretty remarkable that like I was watching this show in like 2005 or something. So this was like the early 2000s. We had like a children's TV show which had like so much diversity in like its characters. And now we're getting rid of that in 2021. I'm confused. They also kind of like changed up the powers of the fairies. It's more like water fairies, and it's like nature fairy, and it's like fire fairy, instead of like fairy of the dragon flame, and fairy of this, and fairy of that. Like it's very more elementalized. For Musa, she's no longer the fairy of music, she's the fairy of mind powers. Which, you know what, that's pretty cool, I'll give it to her. But then it's like, why does she still have like the headphones? Like, also why would you keep her name Musa? Because Musa like is from music. Also, if the character is like a different race, different powers, why doesn't she still have the same name? Honestly, they could have avoided some of the backlash of the racism if they just made her like a different name. Because then it would be like, oh, we didn't change the races, we just like erased them and got different. Well, that still is bad. Hopefully I got out what I wanted to say, but the whole character like flip-flop, mix and match, and whatever they did, it's just so confusing. Makes no sense at all. Next, let's talk about the aesthetic of the show. Aesthetic is such a big part of what made Winx Club Winx Club. It was very colorful, sparkly, vibrant, magical, ethereal, costumes, wings, and it was just like, the aesthetic really defined Winx Club. And the Fate the Winx Saga like aesthetic is, honestly, I feel like they didn't even try to replicate the animated version. They kind of even went in the opposite direction. Again, why are we doing this? Let's start off by talking about the elephant in the room, which is the wings. Where are they? Where do they go? The original show is called Winx Club. There were no wings to be seen, except in the finale, which... Baby, you wanna buy your work. That's its own section. It's coming. It's coming. But yeah, the wings were like such an important part. But I do get it that like, you know, CGI is hard and like, yeah, it's 2021, but also maybe they weren't given as much of a budget to be doing all that. But yeah, like I said, I'll talk more about what we did get in the finale section. Okay, so you guys didn't give us wings. At least you can give us costumes. The original Winx Club, the costumes were on point, like I said, colorful, sparkly, just amazing, fitted, cinched, snatched, all the things. These costumes, insert picture here.
Bitch, you gonna step on my fucking toe, bitch, with them fucking cowgirl fucking boots, bitch, disgusting.
Bloom is some sort of a horse girl, cowgirl. That leather jacket, Aisha lives in a tracksuit. You know what, Musa, it kind of like small and cute. You know, she gives us a little bit more sometimes. Stella was literally like the fashion person, and even still like, she's like the princess, and that's kind of like still part of her personality. Like appearances are still like a big part of her personality. But like her outfits were so like not memorable, and whatever she was wearing was just, what was that? What was going on? What was, girl, at least you could have like had her wear orange all the time, but I don't think I saw her wearing orange like a single time, and it's, what in the world? And then just the overall aesthetic, like the color scheme, like the color grading. Like I said, the original is very vibrant, very glittery, very colorful. And this is like actually the opposite. It's very dark, it's very like bland costumes. If anything, it's kind of giving me like Harry Potter, which I don't want to watch Harry Potter. I've never seen a Harry Potter movie. I've never read a Harry Potter book. I don't want Harry Potter in my life. I want Winx Club. I want Bloom. I want Techna. This? No. 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 Now let's talk about the Riverdale-reality of the show. That is a new phrase that I am coining, a new term that I'm coining. And if you've seen the show Riverdale, you know what I'm talking about. It was just such a Riverdale aesthetic overall. Like, you know, the teen mystery, kind of like the dark aesthetic of the show, the like love triangles, the relationships, the scenes, the Riverdale-esque scenes. If you know what I'm talking about. This is... That we didn't want that in Riverdale. We don't want it in Winx Club. We don't want another Riverdale. Stop it. Brian, honey, stop it. Calm it down. Cool it. And that was part 1. I know that was super long, and I'm not even sure if anybody is still watching this outro. If you are, make sure to go down there and comment down below that you watched all 10 minutes. I will leave a heart on your video. I will reply to you in order to compensate for the pain that you must have endured watching all 10 minutes of this. Like I said, there is going to be a part 2 to this video where I will talk about the finale and what I want for season 2. As of now, season 2 has been confirmed already, so we are fortunately or unfortunately getting a season 2. But yeah, make sure to leave a big like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on the show, and I'll be back on the video. Until then, bye!